AI is everywhere. No matter where you turn, somebody's talking about AI.
Good morning, Ashley. Navigating to the office.
Of AI surges, so too is the carbon footprint of AI firms.
Imagine a fridge that scans your food, so you always know what you have on hand.
Well, I would say that one of my greatest skills is my ability to interact with humans in a conversational manner.
There is no doubt that AI is a really impressive technology and it's going to impact many things in our lives.
And if you don't know what AI is, it stands for artificial intelligence, and basically it's computers that can think. So I wanted to find out exactly how good this AI is. Can it write a keto recipe? So I asked it to do just that. But did it turn out as a great keto dish? Is AI like the holy grail for recipes that we've been looking for? Or more like the Terminator, just destroying everything in its path? You don't have to ask AI to find out the answer. I'm gonna tell you right after this.
I'll be back.
So I decided to use ChatGPT, which is probably the most popular AI that you can go right onto your computer and use. So this is exactly what I did. So I just Googled ChatGPT, I went right to it. I didn't log in or anything, but I just asked it to make me 3 keto recipes. It came up with keto garlic butter steak bites, keto cauliflower mac and cheese, and taco stuffed avocados. And if you want to try them, just rewind the video and then pause it right where it is. So out of those 3 recipes it generated, I asked it to give me the one that most people would like the best. And this is the one it came up with. Which one of these 3 recipes would the most people like? And it came up with taco stuffed avocados, and you can pause it and read it if you want. So I made it exactly like the recipe said. There were only 2 variations, and it wasn't really even a variation. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. Now make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I'm gonna let you know exactly what I thought about it, if I would use it again, and if you should use it. But for now, let's just go over in the kitchen. I'm gonna gather up the ingredients that it told me to use for this recipe, show you how I made it and how it turned out.
I'll be back.
So here's the exact ingredients that it said to use. 4 avocados, halved and pitted. And I'll show you my trick to picking out the perfect avocados in the store in just a minute. 1 pound of ground beef or turkey, and of course I used the ground beef. It called for 1 packet of taco seasoning mix, and of course I use the taco seasoning that I make, and I'll put a link to it up in the corner and also down in the description so you can make it if you want. It also called for a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and you know I always shred mine fresh. I don't ever buy it in the packs. This one variation, it called for half a cup of diced tomatoes, and since we grow our own, that's what we use, but I did dice them. It called for a 1/4 cup of diced red onion, which is one of my favorite ingredients to keep around anyway. It called for sour cream, which it said was optional, but for me, that ain't optional. I gotta have some sour cream even with that avocado. The other substitution is I use dried cilantro instead of fresh because I'm the only one that likes fresh cilantro, so I don't get it. And then the computer told me to use some lime wedges for serving, and since it sounded like it goes good with everything that I had on there, I definitely did it. Now the first direction it gave me is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to put the recipe exactly from ChatGPT in the description too, just in case you want to follow along that way. So it said in a skillet over medium heat, cook ground beef or turkey until brown and cook through, and drain the grease, which I don't do because with my taco seasoning you don't have to drain the grease. You want some good fat on your keto diet and it absorbs right back in there. So I just browned that ground beef, I left all that good fat in there, and then I dumped in my taco seasoning and stirred it up. And you'll see, there's no need to drain it when you use my taco seasoning because it will absorb it right up, and there's no flour, no carbs or anything in there, it's just all spices, but you get that goodness. Now once that ground beef and taco seasoning are real happy in there together, we'll go on to the next step. And this is how you pick out an avocado. Just get that little nubbin on the end there and flick that off in the grocery store. If it's green, it's good. If it's brown, don't buy it. And then just cut all the way around it like that. Take your knife, give it a good little pop right on that seed, and it'll pop right out for you. And then we'll do the other one too, and we're off to a good start. Now if you want me to try more crazy recipes like that, let me know down in the comment. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it, And anytime I do an AI generated recipe, which is probably not often, or most likely the recipes I come up with myself, you'll know about it. So now that we got all these beautiful avocados cut in half and the seeds out, the directions say scoop out a little of the avocado flesh from each half to create more space for stuffing. That's what I like, more space for stuffing. So I'm gonna put that good hamburger meat in there with that taco seasoning in it. Oh man, it's gonna be good. I'm excited about this even though a darn robot wrote it. Now that we got that handled, the next step says fill each avocado half with the taco meat mixture. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be good. How do I know that? Because it's my taco meat recipe. So I'll just go ahead and stuff all of these avocado halves, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now I did skip a step on this, so please forgive me, but I really don't think it affected the outcome at all. I went ahead and put all these avocados right on the baking sheet before I followed the next step, which says top with shredded cheddar cheese, diced tomatoes, and red onion. And what I did is I put them on there different ways on each little row just to see which way came out better, if any. And then it says place the stuffed avocados on a baking sheet and bake for 10 to 12 minutes till cheese is melted and bubbly. And just be real careful when you're taking these things to the oven. If you watch this one, you might notice I lost just a little bit of my cheese. But hey, that's what happens when you're really cooking, and if you lose some cheese, ain't nothing you can do about it than to do without it. So that's just how it goes sometimes. So I'm just going to set my timer to 10 minutes just because I think that's going to be good enough. If you want it longer, do it longer. You can do up to 12 according to the AI. So then it says to remove from oven and let cool slightly. So that's exactly what I did. I'm going to tell you, I was skeptical, but look how delicious that looks. Hey, y'all might not even need me anymore. I don't know, that AI sure does talk a lot less. Anyway, optional, drizzle with sour cream and garnish with fresh cilantro. And that sour cream ain't optional for me. And that fresh cilantro magically, by the power of AI, got transformed into dried. So I mean, hey, what are you gonna do about that? And then it says to serve with some lime wedges on the side. And I'm just gonna take my lime wedges and squeeze it right over the top when this is done. I'm telling you, hey, this looks good. But let's see how the taste is. And I'm going to give you my final thoughts after we listen to some sweet AI music. Well, it's not AI, but anyway. So what are my thoughts about it? I learned a couple things. I've never baked avocado hot, and I'd definitely try that again. I make guacamoles. I cut it up and put it on tacos, but I've never used it warm. And so the AI actually taught me something about that. Also, the amount of time that the onions and the tomatoes cooked made it delicious. So I'd try that again. After I did this experiment, I tried to get it to do more complex recipes, and I can tell you right now, it's not gonna do that yet. Maybe in the future, but not now. Should you use it? I'd say for simple keto recipes, I'd give it a shot because this one worked out really good, I thought. It's easy, which I like, and I thought it did a pretty good job. But if you want some non-AI recipes, check out this playlist right here. These are my recipes, not computer generated, and there's a video down there that YouTube thinks you're gonna like also. Thanks so much for watching. Share this video with somebody you think would enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next video.